It was the first inning of the second game of a doubleheader, and Phillies left-hander Chris Short appeared to be in trouble. After retiring the first Met on a fly ball to center field, Short walked the next batter. Charlie Smith then bunted down the third base line for a hit. There were now 2 men on base with 1 man out. It was an auspicious beginning of what would turn out to be an incredible performance. The doubleheader was the result of a rainout the day before. The Phillies and Mets were ending their 1965 season in one final series, each team well out of contention for the World Series. But after a rocky start to the first inning, Chris Short appeared to settle down. He caused Gene Hickman to fly out to center field. Chris Short then recorded his first strikeout of the evening, catching Ron Swoboda looking. But Chris Short, who would become ever the workhorse in his late 20s, had a long way to go before his day was over. Welcome to Philadelphia Baseball History. On this channel, we talk about the history of baseball from the A's to the Phillies to the 19th century. And sometimes we talk about contemporary baseball issues. So if you love baseball, and if you love Philadelphia, stick around and subscribe to our channel. How do you show your home team pride? With mugs, t-shirts, masks, phone cases, tote bags, and so much more. Check out tpublic.com and search for Philadelphia Baseball History. Chris Short joined the major leagues at age 21, towards the end of the 1959 season. He appeared in 3 games, pitching 14 1/3 inning. During this time, Short gave up 19 hits, 10 walks, and 13 earned runs for an ERA of 8.16. In his first full season with the Phillies, his ERA would come down a bit to 3.94, but he posted a record of 6 wins against 9 losses. It was said that while Short had a decent fastball and curve, he lacked a put-away pitch. And for the first 3 seasons of his career, the young left-hander failed to make much of an impression. But then, he developed an effective changeup, and things began to look up in the 1963 season. Although his record was 9 wins to 12 losses, Short posted an ERA of 2.95. And when the Phillies added Jim Bunning to their rotation in 1964, Bunning and Short became the team's 1-2 punch. Although Bunning would get much of the attention, what with his perfect game on Father's Day in 1964, Short posted a better ERA. Short's ERA was 2.20 on the season, while Bunning's was 2.63. Both pitchers fell just shy of 20 wins, with Bunning winning 19 games and Short 17. Indeed, the Bunning-Short combination was so potent that when the Phillies reached the last 2 weeks of the season, manager Gene Mauch decided to pitch his 2 top starters on 2 games rest, twice. And while many in Philadelphia blamed Mauch for overtaxing his pitchers, the fact is that Short did not pitch all that bad. In his September 25th start against Milwaukee, Short pitched 7 1/3 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs. When he faced the Cardinals on September 28th, Short likewise gave up only 3 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings. It was just that in those 2 games, the Phillies' bats went quiet, and Phillies hitters gave Short no run support whatsoever. And in 1965, as Short stood atop the mound at Shea Stadium, he had already won 18 games on that season. On October 2nd, 1965, Chris Short would not add to his wins total, but he would do something else, even more amazing. As the game dragged on, both teams demonstrated their offensive futility. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, Short would find himself in trouble yet again, as a pair of doubles and an intentional walk loaded the bases with 2 outs. But Short would get Denny Napoleon to strike out looking. It was the 3rd strikeout of the inning for Short and his 5th of the game. As the game progressed, neither team could bring a runner across the plate, but Short kept racking up the strikeouts. By the time the teams reached the bottom of the 9th inning, Short had struck out 13 Mets batters. But Short's day was not over yet, as the teams were locked in a scoreless tie. In total, Short would pitch 15 innings before being pulled for a pinch hitter. When his day was finally complete, not only had Chris Short shut out the Mets over 15 innings, but he had struck out 18 batters. In the dugout, Rick Wise was eager to point out that Chris Short had tied a National League record. Mercifully, New York State had a curfew law back in 1965, which prevented the teams from starting a new inning after 1 a.m., and after 18 innings, the game ended in a scoreless tie. But in the days before cable TV, and when newspapers were manually set, the game ended too late for the Philadelphia newspapers to call much attention to Short's incredible accomplishment. Chris Short would then join the ranks of 20-game winners in 1966. In 1967, he would go to his 2nd All-Star game. And while his record was 9 wins to 11 losses in 1967, he posted an ERA of 2.39. In the following season, 1968, Short would win 19 games with an ERA of 2.94. But the Phillies finished 7th in the National League, falling below 500 on the season. But then early in the season in 1969, Short would suffer a back injury that required surgery. Although he returned to pitch after his surgery, his effectiveness had diminished. Short continued to pitch for the Phillies through the 1972 season, but then the Phillies released Short at the end of that season. As a free agent, Short signed with the Milwaukee Brewers. His back problems continued to plague him in Milwaukee, and he ended the 1963 season with a 5.13 ERA. He ended his career with a record of 135 wins to 132 losses and an ERA of 3.43. But his 132 wins with the Phillies still ranks him at number 4 on the all-time Phillies win list. He also ranks 4 with the Phillies in shutouts with 24. Sadly, Short suffered an aneurysm in 1988, and he fell into a coma. He died 3 years later, at the age of 53. I hope you enjoyed learning about one of the best left-handed pitchers to play for the Phillies, Chris Short. If you did, please give us a like. Also, consider subscribing to us so you don't miss another one of these videos in the future. Tell your friends about us, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any ideas for topics that we can cover in the future, please let us know in the comments below. If you would like to see more of these videos, please consider becoming a patron through Patreon. Again, we'll have a link in the description box below.